I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move.
Hello, welcome.
Hello, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'm Hương.
I'm Ke.
Take a seat, please. So, how can I help you today?
Well, I know you as a very reputed consultant. To be honest, I'm a young entrepreneur who recently set up a business. Today, I want to meet you to have some advice on building up and developing the leadership skills, as well as develop the business culture.
Wow, you know it's not really easy at all. So, do you know what is this?
Everybody knows it's an iPhone.
Well, talking about leadership, I believe that we can learn a lot from CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs, who built,
Steve Jobs?
Yeah, who built this iPhone.
Well, I don't think it's just great in business. He's just such the IT guy who's so good at IT technology.
The CEO of Apple is not really simple like that. I don't think you understand him totally wrong. So if you're interested about it, maybe I will show you something about him.
Oh, please speak out.
Yeah, so Mr. Livington will show you. He's my assistant.
My pleasure.
I think we will go to the room design, and I will present you about Mr. Steve Jobs.
Okay.
Today, I am very happy to introduce to Mr. Steve Jobs, CEO of Apple. The early life, Stephen Paul Jobs was born on February 24, 1955 by Abdul Fattah Zarni and Jonas Skipper. However, they could not keep him and he was adopted by Clara and Paul Jobs. They gave him the last name Jobs, Steve Paul Jobs. And Abdullah Jarani and Jonas Skipper want a job to go to university. They make Clara and Paul Jobs promise them these things. The family live in Mountain View within California, Silicon Valley. Jobs was strongly influenced by his father in both love of mechanics and strong personality. Steve enrolled in a popular electronic class conducted by Mr. Mark Cullum, and Steve got a summer job at AP factory at that time. Also, he graduated from high school in 1972. After that, he decided to go to Greece college but just study for 6 months and he left. But in fact, he still stay here. Maybe 18 months. Starting the career, he started to work at the first video game company in 1974. Born of Apple in 1976 with Wall. Steve attended West Coast Company Fair in 1977. Apple II Computer 1981. Mosquito or Max was introduced by Apple the first time in 1984. Jobs was kicked out of Apple 1985. Acquisition of Pixar in 1986. Acquisition of Next in 1996. CEO position regained at Apple in the year 2000. Apple introduced iPod in 2001, iPhone 2007, iPad 2010, and Apple became one of the most profitable companies in the world. Jobs died in 2011. personal life, Jobs had a daughter with girlfriend Kristen Brennan when he was 23. In the early 1990s, Jobs met Lauren Powell and married on March 18, 1991 and lived together in Palo Alto, California with their 3 children.
Okay. So, I think that you understand a little bit about the biography of Steve Jobs. So, I want to show you the little value and leadership philosophy that's a really important thing in him. Because, as you see, Steve Jobs was a really intelligent person, temperance manager, erratic, creative, strong influence, and a little bit crazy. And as you see, Stay Hungry, Stay Hungry is really famous work of Steve Jobs when he talked with the owner, the graduation student in Stanford University. So, let's go to the 5 ideas of Steve Jobs' philosophy to listed employees. The first thing, when he came back Apple in 1996, he was really surprised. It's not really a good surprise, but he was really disappointed because Apple was focused to a lot of things. So he told everyone that deciding what job to do is as important as deciding what to do. So he decided choices through main thing, and he said Apple. The second thing is simple is always better. As you see, iPhone, iPad, iPod, MacBook is really simple, but it's beautiful. And it's much more beautiful than anything too complicated. Jobs said that it takes a lot of hard work to make something simple, to justly understand the underlying challenges and come up with an elegant solution, as you see, iPad. And so something that I want to admire you, that Steve Jobs is the only leader that I see. He showed everyone that puts the product behind the profit. Because with any businessman in the world, the profit is the best thing they want to achieve. So it says that my passion has been to build an enduring company where people were motivated to make a great product. Everything else was secondary. That really, really impressed me. And he said with everyone around him, make a great product as much as you can. You can see that the great thing, iPod, is the king of the music nowadays. And just make me remind a short story of Steve Jobs. After 9 months, he invented to the iPhone. 9 months, and it's nearly complete. After one night, he didn't sleep. He told everyone that, no, I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I want to change it. And I want to make the great product as much as we can. And the last thing is that the success based on the large vision and the detail. And as you know, Steve is really detailed person. He takes care of anything, even inside. He really cares about that. However, he cares about the large vision. And he is the first one to build the rental in all over the US. So let's move to, I think you want to know the leader accomplishment. And there are 4 histories accomplishments of Steve Jobs that I think you should know. The first thing is introducing a new generation of innovative and imaginative products. Well, Steve had changed the world by building the map and recovering the Apple. And you see that the 3 products, iPhone, iPad, and Mac OS, represented as a key product of Apple and were recognized by billions of people all over the world. These 3 products make a breakthrough is not only technology but also in lifestyle of people around us. So the second history is Steve found Apple computer in April 1st, 1976. During the time when Apple still introduced Apple I, Apple II, and Macintosh computer in 1976, 1977, and 1978 respectively. And the product made a huge successful and gained remarkable profit feedback from the market. As people know about Steve Jobs, that he got fired by Apple in 1985. That can be a really bad thing for him. But after that, he found next in the same year. He said that the heavy lifting of being successful were replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life. He was told everyone in Stanford University this sentence, and people understand that he was so successful because he was fired. And we can say that even it's not only left for Steve, but also left for all human mankind. Thankfully, we have really great Apple today. And the last thing I want to tell you that is an investment in pizza. Well, he was invest $5 million to purchase George Lucas Industrial Light and Magic Technology, which became Pizza after that. So, after the Pizza public in 1995, George became a billionaire. So, his fight to modern entertainment can be dismissed and stand as a core additional business success within an anti-separate industry. Obviously, you can see that Jobs should become an artist who can combine the business and art effectively and successfully. So I talked about the biography and the Steve accomplishment. So do you think that you have something to learn from Steve Jobs?
Yes, I think there's so many things we can learn from Steve Jobs.
Yes.
And if you want to hear, I would like to share some thought about Steve Jobs.
Well, of course.
Thank you. Well, about Steve Jobs, I think we can learn about 8 valuable lessons from him about his careers and his life. The first one is breaking out of the industry which we are operating within. So, if you have a chance to define the industry of Apple, what would you define? A company which produces iPhone as a cell phone, or produce laptop? Well, I think it's hard to say that because Apple is more than a simple computer company, but a digital company which provides a wide range of services to clients. If you define the main products of Apple in terms of revenue, then it's iPhone. It accounts for about 2/3 of the whole revenues. But on top of everything else, Apple provides a wide range of products from selling music, selling apps and software, selling iPhone and iPad and MacBooks and physical products. So it's kind of mixed. So it means Apple breaking out of the industry with it each initially operating within it like a computer company. That's it. The second lesson is being first isn't necessarily best. Understanding timing is the essence of breakthrough. Why did I say that? If you remember in the past, before the time of Apple, we know about Walkman. Walkman, very popular on the market. And also we know about BlackBerry. BlackBerry was the king in the cell phone, smartphone industry, right? And in fact, Apple conquered them all, and now they take over the market. So even the timing of Apple's is later than the very popular product in the past. But they still win over the market because they know it's the right time to introduce a new technology. That's it. The next lesson would be store designs need to convey a clear message to clients. Every time you come to the Apple store, you see the very fancy store, right? With well design and also price standard. It come up with standard. What is the message that Apple want to send to the client? It means we, Apple, stand for the best thing on the market. We are for stylish person, right? Who really care about the high-end product, who really care about fashion and design. That's the message that the store design want to send to the client. The next lesson would be don't be fear to identify and point out your enemies in the public. Steve Jobs was never fear in pointing out his enemies in public. It come up with the year 2011 when Android were introduced to market. Steve Jobs would make the following statement: I'm going to destroy Android because it's a stolen product. I'm willing to go thermonuclear war on this. Very strong statement, right? Strong statement. And he clearly pointing out the direct competitor of Apple at the time is Android software is taking over the market of iOS. And by defining the market, he clearly defined who we are and who we are. And also inspire the followers, inspire Steve Jobs himself to have the guts to compete with all the competitors of the market. That's a very important point. Don't be fear to point out your enemy, and don't be fear to cope with them. The next lesson will be learn more about competitors by visiting them than reading about them. Right? Come back to the past. During the early days in business, Steve Jobs had several visits to store of Walkman of Sony, and he was strongly impressed and inspired by the function, the organization, and the way Sony conducted business, and it developed very foundation for him to create a company legendary like Apple today. And if you are a business who have been paid a visit by Steve Jobs in the past, you should be proud because you have been visited by a very successful business leader, right? It can come up with very similar saying, he who sees through life and death will meet with more success. The next lesson would be, come back please. I'm not finished. Okay. The next lesson would be try to don't take success for granted. Find smart at the first time you promote your product. During the time with Apple, we never see Steve Jobs take a day off or rest on the success. He always tried his best to complete the product, to optimize the products, to bring the best thing to the customer. That's what we know about Steve Jobs. And even when he had something like cancer disease and it cost him his life, however, he's still a very assiduous man who devote all his life to bring new value to the whole world. It's like five enhance at the first time you promote your product. The next lesson will be try to create your brand as sticky as possible. One example of that is about Gillette. Talking about Gillette, we talk about the Gillette razor and Gillette blades, right? However, Gillette made much more money in Gillette blade. But once you buy Gillette razor, you have to buy Gillette blade. That's a very simple idea. And Apple did the very similar thing. Once you buy a physical product of Apple, like iPhone, iPad, or MacBook, you have to buy software and application from Apple. Also even music. That way Steve Jobs made the brand as sticky as possible and made much profit from this, especially selling music and application to clients. And the final lesson, we treat the brand as a religion. When you talk about Apple, you don't only talk about the company who produces very good product. You talk about a very spiritual concept, right? Client and customer of Apple worship the company. This is called a religion, it's belief. And Steve Jobs was a very successful man in creating such value for Apple brands. And that's the key idea that we as the new generation of businessmen or entrepreneur should learn from the example of Steve Jobs to achieve the future success and achievements. Thank you. Well, somebody said that it's not the destination that's important, but the journey. And in case of Steve Jobs, I think that the journeys of Steve Jobs will be praised and inspiring to many future generations for years.
So Steve Jobs was truly a genius that taught us so many lessons on assiduity and inspiration. For many, Jobs was such a symbolist business leader, authentic entrepreneur and true artist. So, we are Group 6. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you for watching us.
Lê Minh Hưng.
Hoàng Thu Hương.
Nguyễn Thị Cường. Thank you.
Thank you.